Final word for Wisden Cricket Monthly, fueled by Kookaburra Cricket. I've got Editor-in-Chief of the magazine, Phil Walker, with me here. We're going to talk all about the new edition. It's an absolute corker. But first, the England Test squad for the Indian series has been announced as we are recording this video, actually. What have we learned?
Well, 13-man squad. The big news, Adil Rashid's in the side. So he's never played a Test match in England ever before. He bowled beautifully in the ODIs and in the T20s. And Ed Smith has shown another audacious touch, really. He brought Jos Buttler in from the cold on the back of white ball cricket. He's done the same with Adil Rashid. Adil Rashid famously has not played a game for Yorkshire in four-day cricket this year. He walked away from that form of cricket earlier in the summer, so it's surprising. It will offend the sensibilities of a lot of traditionalists who will look at the Somerset lads in Leach and Bess, who have churned out the overs for the last 2 years and have both been overlooked. Personally, I like it. I think they need to take 3 lots of 20 wickets. It's not rained here in years. That might be a misnomer. It doesn't necessarily mean it's going to turn square, but the chances are it's going to turn certainly here and at Old Trafford. They need to take 3 lots of 20 wickets. Adil Rashid, his time is now.
And the extent to which it might relate to the fact that Mo and Ali's back in the side as the second spinner.
Course, yeah.
They bowl really well together.
Yeah, they're thick as thieves, the two of them, inseparable characters, and you can see how well they dovetail with one another in the ODI stuff. It is a different format, it is a different world. That said, I like the brashness, I like the bravery of this squad. Also, Jamie Porter's in as well. Incidentally, on Mo, I don't think there was any question. He took 8 wickets last week. He's been batting nicely. Mo comes back into that middle order and he starts, for me, without a doubt. But Jamie Porter as well, the Essex seamer, is back in. I played with him, incidentally, a few years back. It's a little slip of a lad, didn't say a word, bowls a beautiful slower ball, that's all I remembered, and then suddenly he's England's next Test hope. He probably statistically deserves it. There's been a question mark against the pace. Is he a county bowler rather than a Test match bowler because he bowls around that 81, 82 mark? That said, I've spoken to James Foster a few times, who's kept to him. He says he's never, apart from Mo Amir, he's never kept to a bowler who does more with the ball than Jamie Porter does.
David Malan keeps his spot in the England 11. Chris Wokes is unavailable due to ongoing injury concerns. But let's return to Malan. You would have dropped him had you been a selector, but he does retain his spot. Is he the man under the most pressure coming into this series from an England perspective?
Yeah, I would say so. I wonder where Malan's ceiling is, in truth. I think he did brilliantly in Australia. He got that fine 100 at Perth. He's not really cracked it in English Test cricket yet. He has a kind of a back foot technique. He plays very much from the crease. And I worry against the seaming delivery a little bit with Malan. He's not really pulled up many trees for Middlesex this year either. They're struggling as a unit for runs, and he made a pair last month. He's made a couple of single-figure scores since then in four-day cricket. He did make a couple of 50s for the Lions, and I think that might have just tipped him over the edge. He played nicely, in fact, first innings for 70-odd. I'm not against Malan being in that squad, but I think they've got to be ruthless. And so for me, I would bat Route 3, Bairstow 4, and then 5, 6, 7 of Mo, Stokes and Buttler in whichever order you fancy.
The first Test match, when it starts next week at Edgbaston, will be the 1000th time the Englishmen have played a Test match. And that's part of your front cover this month is that. I'm not going to deny the fact we have stuck a front cover on. I'm sorry, we couldn't quite keep it on all the way to the end. The magazine is at print today, but...
Yeah, it went to print yesterday evening, it did. Simon Wilde has written a beautiful piece about the most influential figures in English Test cricket since Test match 1 back in 1877. Yeah, thank you. All the way through to the 1000th coming up later this summer. It's a beautiful piece that he's put together. We've also got Jonathan Liu as well on just imagining what would happen when England win the real World Cup next summer, having, of course, spent a good month in Russia. He's had a good World Cup and he'll have another good one next year.
But the main feature, the main cover, let's talk about the most exciting 50 young men players. The women are coming next month, but give us a bit of a sneak preview. Who's number one?
I'm not telling you that. I'm not telling you number one. No. It's an interesting selection, though. 11 Indians have made the cut. 10 English lads have made the cut as well. There's 13 different nations represented in this. We scoured the globe. We spoke to everybody. We spoke to all of our correspondents from around the world. We spoke to our editorial board as well. We collated all of these opinions, and here is something akin to a definitive list of the 50 best young players in the world as we stand.
It is very good. I had a chat to Matt Renshaw for it as well, the Australian opening batsman. It's a particularly interesting chat with him, so I can point points to that one. And as I say, I'm sure we see Jofra Archer on the cover there. I've got the feeling he might feature rather high as well.
He does indeed. He does indeed.
So that's the magazine. If you want to pick up a copy of the mag and subscribe, wisden.com/final word, a very generous 30% discount. Phil, why is it important that you don't just buy the magazine, but you subscribe to it?
Well, because you got to fight the good fight, haven't you? You got to be a part of this thing. It's a beautiful thing. You contribute to it. Everybody who works around here is a part of it. Even the man behind the camera is part of the editorial board, Mr. Norcross. So yeah, just join the club, folks. This is where it's at.
Well, wouldn't you? That's it. Final word. Adam Collins and Phil Walker for Wisden Cricket Monthly, fueled by Kookaburra Cricket. We'll talk to you from Edgbaston next week.
I'm using the Blaze this summer. I've seen Glenn Maxwell use it and I've seen the 4s and 6s he likes to hit, so hopefully he does the same for me.